Well, I took the hood off. It's a few days later now, about a week later after I bought the 52. I wanted to get into this engine here and find out everything going on with it, and see if I could find maybe some date codes and stuff like that. I see a number down there on the engine, and we'll try to get to and take a picture of, and maybe I can make something from that, find out exactly what year it is. I also want to start lubricating this engine here, because I want to try to start it up. I haven't had this distributor cap off yet. I ordered some points and condenser from Amazon, and they should be in today, actually. But I want to get into this this distributor cap here, and boy, that be on there pretty good. Wow. There we go. Oh, look at all the ants in there. Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to get them sucked out of there. There's the inside of the cap. Look, and a lot of ants in there too, but the cap don't look that bad. It's got some corrosion on there. Needs to be cleaned off. Yeah, them points look terrible. Them points are really, I don't know if you can see them there. They're terrible. They're corroded like crazy. But what I'm gonna do is take this cap off of here. This little paint cap, it looks like somebody put on the carburetor with some duct tape. The duct tape's all gone now. I want to get as little bit of junk down that carburetor as possible. God knows how long this has been on here. I'd like to know where that chunk of plastic went to. Somebody tried to cover that carburetor up and save it. Anyway, save the engine. I really want to look down in that thing. I'm still on the trailer here. I've got one tire for it, and I really can't tell, but I don't see that piece of plastic down in there, so that's a good thing. I'm not going to open up the bottom. I'm not going to try to throttle it now. I'm gonna get my vacuum, and I'm going to try to suck out anything that might be in there, and I'm going to start lubricating this engine. Let me get over here and check the oil. I have not done that. This is really my first time underneath the hood. I've lifted it up and I've looked in here, but I haven't done anything because the hood is not on the hinges. The other hinge is the same way, it's froze up. And I haven't done anything. So I wanted to take you guys on the ride with me and show you everything that I found. That hood has a hole in it that looks like it was dropping water right in this area, and somehow it got water splashed on that little drop pipe manifold right there. Anyway, let me check the oil, see if there is any. Oh, look at that, right up to the full mark, and it don't look too bad. Well, looks like oil anyway. All right, I'm gonna go get some WD-40 and I'm gonna spray down that. Distributor, all them ants in there. Need to suck them all out of there too. I don't know why or how them suckers got up in there, but I'll suck them out too. Oh, looks like the intake's got a little crack there on it, so I'll be sucking air whenever I get to cranking over on this thing, if it will crank. Really haven't been able to try running this thing. Yeah, it don't appear like it's gonna budge by hand, but I'm not discouraged right now. I need to pull them plugs out. I'm gonna douse them down with some PV Blaster and yeah, they don't look too bad in there at all. All right. There's some hope to this thing. Well, let me go get the juice. Well, I got the blaster here. I'm just gonna do everything while I'm here. This blaster, I guess the tube on the inside must have dropped. You can only spray it upside down now, but whatever works. There we go. I got them doused down pretty good. I'd really like them ants to just carry themselves away. It looks like now that I got the cap off, they're dispersing. So I want them to just to carry themselves out of there. I don't want a bunch of ant corpses down on the bottom of my distributor. But here's. Like to be able to hook that hood back up, or one of them hoods. I got the other one there in the back. I'd like to be able to hook them back up on here where I could just open the hood and close it. Don't have to manhandle it every every blessed time. What else could I douse with this stuff? Well, I think next I'll go get the shop vac, or the little DeWalt shop vac anyway, and I'm gonna suck out that carburetor, get as far down in there as I can. That carburetor don't look that bad, but looks don't mean anything. And then I am probably gonna do something that might shock some of y'all, but I'll just save that for later when I do it. I didn't show it on camera, but I got the little shop vac, and I had to use that little snorkel or whatever crevice tool on there. I vacuumed out the carburetor. I didn't see anything down in there except for some rust on that plate in the bottom, on the throttle plate, but I went ahead and I sprayed it down with some blaster on the inside, sprayed a little bit in the vent tube just to get that wet in there, and sprayed the linkage. I never did test to see if that linkage works or not. It's froze up, so I'll spray it, I'll soak it some more. And matter of fact, that blaster I sprayed in there is just sitting in the bottom, so that's actually kind of a good thing. That means it's got a pretty good seal on it, and there's no junk that's going down into the engine. So I'm gonna be trying to get these spark plugs out so I can start lubricating the inside of the cylinder up. And oh, there's another number right there that I can start investigating. Okay, it's supposed to be the one on the block though. This the number you go by. That's what I hear anyway. I don't know if anybody has any comments on this, anything helpful to let me know. I was told it was a 52. I want to find that out, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, my friends that are on YouTube, and what I heard was 49 was the last year, or the only year, that they had the these, what do they call them, knee shocks. Oh, you can't see, I put the tire on that side, but that's what I got. So this could be a 49, maybe. Where are they? There it is. This could be a 49. But it's got the 52. 52 was supposed to be the first year that they come out with the push button door handles, but both these doors look like they were off another truck. Well, they were off another truck, had to be. They're a different color. And there. So that could be, they could have been off a 52 truck, and 49 is what this truck is. Also too, this drive shaft just has the regular has a regular drive shaft on it. So I don't know when they stopped using that torque shaft thing, which I know nothing about a torque shaft. Anyway, I'm assuming that engine code will tell me everything I need to know. Hope. I hope, because it's supposed to be the original engine. Like I said, the guy told me he was the second guy to ever have this truck, and he bought it from the original owner. So that's kind of something to me. I like knowing that. Well, let me go find the spark plug sockets, and I'll see if I can get these yanked out. Well, I got the spark plug off. That wasn't too bad. What I'm gonna do is twist these a little bit. They pull right off. Got some AC spark plugs in it. And man, I was gonna get my little, I guess my impact isn't the right size anyway. Let's see how easy these spark plugs come out. And these, I thought they were 3/4, but these are 13/16. So we'll see how this. Oh, they're not even tight. Yeah, well, they got some carbon on them. It's not too terribly bad though. I'm gonna get this can of blaster over here. I'm gonna fill each one of these up. Let that sucker sit. Oh yeah. Thought I was gonna have to struggle with him. It looks like the ants have left the distributor cap, or the distributor itself. Yeah, these all seem to be about the same. And this is a real spark plug socket. I don't know when's the last time I actually used a spark plug socket. I don't know when's the last time I pulled one out. That one's been running a little bit rich. These are all getting a little bit more later. So if somebody thinks I'm not putting enough in there, I've seen a lot of videos where they don't put much at all. I think they ought to put a lot more. All of them are the same except for that third one there. Yeah, this one's going to be hard to hit the hole. I think I'm going to have to go by sound. Well, I'm running out of blaster. I'm gonna have to go get some more. We'll cut this video for a minute. On these new cans, they got nozzles built into them. That's fancy. Oh yeah. That takes all the fun out of it. I'm just putting these plugs back in to keep anything from crawling up in there. Or, you know, we had that ant problem. And if you're asking me why I'm pulling the socket off of there, I know that socket was made to hold on to them plugs, but I find it harder to start the plugs when they're in this socket. I like to start them by hand, and if you pull them out, it's harder to get the plug out when it's not being held by the threads. All right. That makes me feel a lot better knowing I got some lubricant down in there. Now I might try a little bit more aggressively to go ahead and turn the engine over by hand, at least. I don't set these plug wires on here just because. All right. Yeah. Well, that part of it's done. Now, I'm going to use some WD-40 and I'm going to kind of wash out this cap a little bit. I never worry about spraying in these distributors. I used to, I had a Datsun 510, and I used to run through some water with it, and that thing would stall out on me. And I had a can of WD-40. I'd just douse the points with WD-40, get back in it, start it right back up. Yeah, see, zoom in on them points right there. See how corroded they are? Look at all the corrosion on them. Yeah, they're not good. I mean, it might go ahead and work, but there was a little ant left in there. He didn't like that WD-40. Yeah, that'll keep the ants from going back into. They don't like the smell of that WD-40. So Even if I put that cap back on there, the ants won't go back in. Alright. That cleaned up them points pretty good, actually. Like I said, I got a new set coming today. We might try it with these just to see what it'll do. If I can get it turned over. What I was wanting to do, I was wanting to pour me some diesel down this carburetor and lubricate them valves a little bit. As much as I can. I want this thing to have as much lubrication on turnover and startup as I can get it, because I don't want any more wear than I already got. Well, let me get a looks like I need a 1-inch breaker bar, and I think I can get this engine to turn over with that, if I'm going to anyway. So I'll go get that now, and I'll be back. Well, it turned out to be 3/4 inch instead of 1 inch, but fits in there pretty nicely. So we're going to see if we can get this thing to budge a little bit. And I'm not going to turn it too much with the spark plugs still in there. I know I got fluid in there. I'll take the spark plugs out if I can really get this thing to turn over. Yeah, that's the wrong way. I should go the right way. I'll see if I can turn it the right way, and then I'll turn it the other way. Oh, it budged. It budged. Oh yeah. Hot diggity. Yeah, let me take them plugs out. I'm gonna back them off. Guess I shouldn't have put them in. I was thinking long term. Well, take these plugs on out, and then I'll turn it over some more. I'm going to fill this up with some more plaster
This video.
and turn it over some more. Oh, I guess it'd help if I take that last plug out. All right. As them valves open and close, they'll get a little bit of lubrication to them. tight there. I wonder if it could be that fan blade hitting it, stopping. Could have been it. Let's see if I can turn it over by the fan blade. If not, I'm gonna have to just take the belt off. Wow, that's a pretty good sign. I was able to turn it with just the belt and the fan blade. I can't sneak that in there. Well, you know, almost at this point right here, I could probably turn it over with the starter motor. I'd really like to turn it one rotation by hand first. So. Let's see if I can get that blade to just turn a little bit more. There we go. I think I went the wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Thinking I turned the fan the wrong way. Man, it's turned over pretty nice now. See. That belt is doing a little bit of holding me up there. Douse it. They don't care if it slips right now. It'd be nicer if it slipped actually. Oh yeah. You know, if you get on this side, the other side, you'll get a better shot of that. Right now the belt is slipping and it's just the crank turning. If I can get it to about right here, where that's straight down, then that'll be one rotation and I'll feel really good about it. Wow, it's turning over nice now. Even with the drag of the belt. All right, we have went more than one rotation around, so I feel really good about that. Oh, ants are boiling out of that distributor now. Saw the ants coming out. Yeah, they don't like the smell of that WD-40, so they're coming out. So that's good. Get them suckers out of there. I'm gonna leave that cap off. The only thing they hate worse than WD-40 is blaster, but blaster will kill them, and I don't want them dead. I want them to come out of there. Yeah, I've never come across that scenario before where there's ants in the distributor like that. But let me put these plugs back in, and that way they won't find a new home down in the engine. I'm going to rinse these all off just so they don't have any dirt crud on them. Just put them in there a couple threads just to plug up the hole. AC spark plugs. I've never really been a fan of AC spark plugs. If you like them, that's great. I'm happy for you, but I've just had some instances where they have failed on me. 2 different occasions that I can remember in my mechanical history. One time I had a guy we worked with down the street from my childhood home, and he started the car up one morning. He had an old was it a Chevelle or a Nova? It was a GM car anyway, and but it was a 80s model. I don't know. It's one of them boxy looking cars anyway. I didn't really care for the car, but he started up in the morning. It was cold that morning. You know, it's Florida. We normally don't have cold weather, but it was cold that morning. He started up fine. He backed it up, and the car just shut off on him. Couldn't get it started again. So I was young at the time. My dad and I went over there on our way to work. My dad was a supervisor, and he went over there to try to help him get running where he could get to work. Started checking everything out, and lo and behold, that it was either 2 or 3 of the spark plugs had just blown. They weren't working anymore. We put a new set of spark plugs in there, Champion. And I know there's a lot of Champion haters out there, but I like it. Anyway, put a new set of Champion in there. It sucker fired up and never gives any more problem. Another time was an old Plymouth Fury. For my nephew had bought it, and I think he ended up giving it to my sister, or Anyway, whatever. It was in the family and started running bad. Well, it had AC plugs in it. I found the one, you know, by power of elimination. You pull the plug wire off, you pull this wire off, and it runs worse. Okay, you put it back on. You pull this wire off, it runs worse. You pull this wire off, it runs the same. So I changed that AC plug out, went and bought another AC plug, put it in there, and it run fine. Purred like a kitten. But within a couple months, another one blew, and it was during cold weather again. So I switched them all out, put Champion in there, never had the problem again. I ended up changing 3 of them plugs, 3 of them AC plugs, before I did it. I was a hard learner back then, I guess. But anyway, so I have steered clear of AC plugs, and no harm. I'll run these here, but if I have any problem with the engine not running right, or not running at all, or not running good, I'm going to suspect that it's an AC problem, AC spark plug problem. I guess my dream of getting these hinges working might be a reality here. If I can overcome that spring or not. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I get the bolts, I can put that hood back on where I don't have to worry about manhandling this hood anymore. Yeah, the ants are still moving. They're still on the move, but they're starting to die too. So we'll see how many more we get out of there, and we'll go from there. What crap is on the distributor cap there. This is another good way to waterproof your spark plug wires too, is WD-40. That'll soak into the rubber, and the water will, at least for a while, a short time, it will it'll repel the water. So if you have that kind of issue, you can spray them down if you don't mind getting your engine wet. I spray down my whole engine with WD-40. Makes it look brand new. Then I can hose it off later. It'll hose the dirt off. The water will beat up, and it'll just roll the dirt right off. I want to be sure and pickle this engine really good here. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it set for a while. I'm going to throw me another cap on that. I might just get a soda can and put on top of it for right now, on top of that carburetor, something that won't deteriorate. But until I go in there and get that, I'm going to throw this rag over top of it. A little bit of WD-40. That way, that will, the plaster works better. The ants and bugs, they don't like that stuff. They will run away from it. I don't want them getting down in my engine. I don't know what the deal is with this thing here. I never noticed it has a little plus and minus. I wonder if that's for the spray. Does that make that? Oh, that shuts off the spray. It's a safety feature. Wow. Oh, they're just coming out with all kinds of stuff. You know, you used to pay more for the cans that had the nozzles on them. I used to pull them off, and I'd buy the cheaper cans and put it on there to save some money. But now they're all coming that way and charging you more. Okay, till next time, this is Double Trouble Garage. And everybody stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.